What are the things you need to take care to make your information security governance effective? This includes involvement of your board of directors and senior management involvement. How? Let's have a look in this video. Hello team, welcome to the another session of CISM certification preparation, where we are covering the chapter number 1, information security governance. And just want to give you a quick recap. We have already covered task statement, knowledge statement as a part of section 1 of this chapter, and as a part of it, section 2, we have already covered the introduction, information security governance overview, importance and the outcome. Now in today's video we are going to cover effective information security governance, point number 1.2. Let's get started. So this is chapter number 1, information security governance, and the topic is effective information security governance. So basically friends, information security governance is the responsibilities, if I say, of board of directors and senior management, and it must be integral as well as transparent part of enterprise governance. What does it mean? It means whatever the activities we are doing as a part of that organization or as a part of a information security governance program, it should be integrated and it should be transparent. That means both parties know what do we do to make this security program successful. And while senior management has a responsibilities like what? Senior management responsibilities to consider and respond to increasingly complex and potentially destructive information security. Potentially destructive information security issues. So that is the roles and responsibility of senior management. While the board of director will be required to make information security to be an integral part of governance, and that will make sure that it will integrate with the processes they have in place to govern our critical organizational resources. So basically there are certain roles and responsibility divided between board of director and senior management. Senior management only comes into the picture when we have a complex potential destructive information security issues we have, and Board of director is basically taking of the governance part. They also making sure the integrated processes, the process should be integrated, and that too with the all the critical organization resources. Now other than this, they also include monitoring and reporting processes. So both parties are taking care of monitoring and reporting processes to ensure that the governance processes, whatever the existing governance processes in the enterprise existing governance structure, are effective and compliance enforcement is sufficient to reduce risk to the acceptable level. So governance processes are sufficient, are compatible enough, or the compliance enough that it will reduce the risk up to the acceptable level. Okay, so that is again one of the key point what board of director or senior management should take care as a very effective information security governance part. Now coming to the another part, according to the developers of BMIS, which is business model for information security. What that it says? It says it is no longer enough. Let me just write it. It's written in quote that it is no longer enough. It is not enough. What? To communicate. Communicated to whom? Communicated to the world. What? World of stakeholder. Means if in your organization whatever the stakeholders we have is not enough to communicate it to your stakeholder. Why? We means your organization exist is not enough. And what constitute its success, why your organization is not successful, is not required. We must also communicate how we, let me write in another color, this is very important, how we are going to protect what? Our existence. Nowadays it's not a big deal if you are become a very successful company or organization. It is also need to convey the message to your stakeholder that how we are protecting ourselves, our existence, because nowadays this Information security governance is one of the very key role. Information security is one of the very critical part to sustain or to grow any organization. What does it suggest? Basically, this kind of thing is suggesting that the clear organization strategy for preserving is equally important. Means is preservation of organization is also very important. Preservation is equally important, and this must also accompany a strategy of progress. And if we are doing all these things, if we are taking care of information security governance, then as per the business model of information security, that strategy is definitely going to be a successful or the progress for that organization. And in addition of protection of information asset, next point, if they are saying that in addition of what? In addition to protection of information asset, information assets, effective, that's very important friend, that's very important point friends. Effective information security governance is required for what? To address legal and regulatory requirement. Nowadays we are having a very strict legal and regulatory requirement, so your information security governance must be very, very effective, and also is becoming mandatory in the exercise of due care. Mandatory in the exercise of due care. Due care here means in order to protect your organization assets, in order to protect your organization information, or in order to give the correct decision with the correct data, is now become mandatory to exercise correct information security governance. Alright, so that's all for now. That's all for this video in terms of effective information security governance. Have fun, bye bye, and take care.